Starting a Business 123 podcast, the premier step-by-step interactive training system for starting your business with confidence and clarity. It's the Starting a Business 123 podcast, your daily guide designed especially for people who are just starting or thinking about starting a business of their own, but need some direction to ensure that they start their business on a solid, strong foundation. With your host, Veronica Kirchhoff.
Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of the Starting a Business 123 podcast. The secret first step to starting a business, and do you have what it takes to start your own business? In this episode, we're going to cover steps 1 and 2 of Module 1, Month 1 of the Starting a Business 123 training program. Module 1 is entitled Research and Development and is presented in 2 parts. In Part 1, Research, we will do the internal and external research necessary to successfully complete Part 2, Development. You may already know the answers to most of the questions that are presented in Part 1. However, it is still advised that you complete all of the exercises so that the information is gathered and the groundwork properly laid for Part 2, as well as future modules. That said, let's get started with Step 1. The secret first step to starting a business. One of the most important things to get straight right now, before you spend one more second even thinking about starting a business, is your mindset. So many entrepreneurs struggle and suffer for far too long, searching endlessly for that magic answer to why they're not able to get ahead, why they always feel like they're burning the candle at both ends and still not getting any light. But if you take my advice here and really own what I'm about to tell you, I can guarantee that the entire process of starting and running your business will be exponentially easier, more enjoyable, and more profitable. Please do not skip over this vitally important secret first step to starting a business. Here it is. From this point forward, you are not a prospective business owner or an aspiring entrepreneur. You are not an employee. You are not an independent contractor. You are not a hairdresser, or chef, bookkeeper, mechanical engineer, computer programmer, or whatever other type of work you perform. You are a business owner, a CEO, the president. You own a business, not a job. The sooner you start thinking of yourself this way and presenting yourself to others in this manner, the sooner you will start acting this way and reaping the benefits of extracting yourself from working in the business and instead free yourself up to work on the business, which is precisely where you belong. This is a major mindset shift that takes some people years to discover, if at all. But if you entrench yourself in this mindset right from the start, you're already way ahead of most new entrepreneurs. Now, I'm not saying that you won't be working with customers and clients doing the job yourself, especially in the beginning. It is absolutely acceptable to be the CEO and still grace customers and clients with your personal presence. Just make sure that you maintain a mental separation between yourself, as the owner of the business, and the services you provide to the client on behalf of the business. 2 completely separate things. Keep in mind that your purpose as the owner is to run the company, while the purpose of the business is to provide goods and services to the client. The business could send you or any other qualified person to actually perform the steps involved in providing those goods and services. Your personal magic as the owner of the company lies in developing and leading the company so that it is able to provide a consistent product or service to your clients, no matter who actually does the job. Even if you never end up hiring any employees or contractors, and you always do the work yourself, having this CEO mindset will make a huge difference in the quality of service you personally provide to clients, as well as the way you go about setting up and running your company, and the way that you treat yourself in the process. Step 2. Do you have what it takes to start your own business? The next step is to make an honest assessment and determine whether you currently have what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. When the economy is in decline and the job market is shrinking, starting your own business begins to sound like a good idea to many people. With the internet and its vast array of technologies, it's easier than ever to start a business, but many still fail. Why is this? It's because it takes a specific type of person to not only start a business, but to see it through to success. Working for yourself sounds like an absolute dream for most people. There's no boss, you can do things your own way, but the truth is that there is a boss, possibly the worst one you've ever had. You. So are you cut out to be an effective and benevolent leader, or a complete pain to be around? The answer will determine whether your new business is a dream or a nightmare. In order to be successful in your new business, you must have what all successful people have in common: habits that lead to success. It's very easy to be motivated by the excitement and novelty of things in the beginning, but that can only carry you for so long. As time passes, your habits will make or break your business. Following are the main habits you must have or be willing to learn in order to ensure your success and your sanity. Habit 1. Optimistic realism. It may sound like an oxymoron, but it is absolutely possible to be both optimistic and realistic at the same time. No one person can do everything perfectly all the time. When you're your own boss, you have to honestly assess your current abilities, as well as whether you'll have the time and initiative to improve in the areas where you may be lacking. As we proceed through this course and discuss everything you need to bring to the table in order to be successful in your business, take care to be both realistic and optimistic about the skills and abilities that are required. How good are you at them? Which of them do you know how to do? Which ones do you lack? Should you hire someone? Don't try to do it all yourself if you'll have to spend an impractical amount of time learning. Habit 2. Outrageous positivity. One thing that many successful entrepreneurs possess is a positive mindset that borders on absurdity. No matter how rough things may get, you need to neutralize negative thoughts. They can easily spiral out of control and poison everything you've worked so hard to achieve. The key to maintaining a positive mindset is to realize that everything will eventually work out for the best no matter what happens in the interim. Fortunately, positivity becomes easier with practice, and you will become more proficient at it over time. Make a habit of always seeing the bright side of things, even when everyone else only sees the darkness. After a while, it will become second nature, and it will start to rub off on those around you. Positivity is contagious. Some people just have a higher tolerance to it. Habit 3. Self-discipline, or the resolve to try. To start and run a business, you need to either 1. Be disciplined, or 2. Be willing to at least try to impose a little discipline upon yourself. You have to set goals, develop plans, stay on track, and stick to schedules. Some days you'll have to get up early, other days you'll be forced to stay up late. You'll often have to work when you really don't want to, and you'll have no time clock or boss to urge you on. If you find that you're totally lacking discipline in any form, don't despair. Discipline is a skill that can be learned. All you need is the will to try. Again, with practice, it will eventually become a habit. Habit 4. The desire to learn. When you first start a new business, you'll probably find that you have to do everything yourself. You may need to learn all about the laws and regulations of your chosen business model or industry. You may have to register your business entity, manage your own finances, and do your own marketing. Be ready and willing to dive into all of this head first. It will take a lot of study, but the entrepreneurs that came before you had to do it, and you're just as capable as any of them. If you're still not sure that you have what it takes, talk to someone else who has successfully started their own business. Invite them to lunch and pick their brains. Don't expect them to simply hand you the key. Just listen closely, absorb all you can, and ask yourself, could I do that? Moreover, would I even want to do that? Again, being honest about your answers to these questions can save you a lot of heartache down the road. If you find that there are things you cannot or simply do not want to do, that doesn't mean you can't still be successful in your own business. It just means that you'll need to make arrangements to get that particular item off your plate as soon as possible, or just don't put it on your plate in the first place. We'll talk about how to do that later in Module 1 and further on in the course. Habit 5. Embrace your mistakes. Successful entrepreneurs do not have a mindset that accepts failure. Things are bound to go wrong, but successful people don't consider them failures. They're just glitches, mistakes, or setbacks, not failures. Failing is final. Everything else is just a bump in the road. Successful entrepreneurs approach decision-making with the same understanding, that there's a distinct likelihood they will be wrong. This doesn't deter them from the task at hand. On the contrary, they just focus on doing their best and conquering any obstacles as they arise. In other words, it's best to just accept that you will make mistakes. In fact, making mistakes is a requirement, so make them as quickly as possible, learn from them, and move on. A good leader doesn't agonize over the possibility that something may go wrong. They don't perceive mistakes as detrimental or irrevocable. They just move forward and try something new, with the knowledge that a valuable lesson has been learned and any potential setback can be overcome. The bottom line is you're only human, and humans make mistakes. Just treat it as a learning experience and don't make the same mistakes twice. When you make a mistake, simply continue to move forward. The ability to bounce back is a quality that every entrepreneur I've ever known has in abundance. Many of the habits we just discussed can be learned if you don't already possess them. In the next episode, we'll show you how, including using the power of your imagination, continuing education, sharpening the saw, or getting professional help if necessary. And of course, we would love to hear from you, the listener, with your comments, questions, and suggestions. Please email us at podcast@startingabusiness123.com, or you can go to startingabusiness123.com and find our Facebook and Twitter links there. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy these podcasts and that they help you to start your own business with confidence and clarity.
Thank you for listening to the Starting a Business 123 podcast, the premier step-by-step interactive training system for starting your business with confidence and clarity. Visit us at startingabusiness123.com and don't forget to take advantage of our free training offer. Just enter the code PODCAST at checkout to receive your first month's training absolutely free. That's startingabusiness123.com.